Hey everyone, Cosmo Moore here. Today I just wanted to do a little doll video, just an update since my last video, which was probably like a year or maybe more than a year ago. Um, since my last video, if you follow me on Tumblr, you probably already know this, but I moved. I got a new craft room. I got it all set up. I'm pretty happy with the setup and pretty inspired by the setup. So I've actually been kind of sewing and making like crazy here lately, mainly just because I'm really inspired. If you keep up with me on Tumblr, sorry, but you've probably already seen most of the things I'm about to show you. Anyways, this video is going to be pretty rambly. If rambling doll videos aren't your thing, then I totally understand, but if they are, then you're in for a treat, I hope. So first and foremost, if you follow me at all on Tumblr, you know that I share a lot of sewing patterns that I do so for free, just because I love to sew and I love to design new things. And typically when I figure out a way to make something, if I like it enough, I do a lot of different versions of it. A perfect example would be this little like 3/4 t-shirt pattern, 3/4 length sleeve t-shirt pattern. I actually found a pattern for a bodice for free on a website. I think it's janellewashere.com. That I like the idea of, but I didn't necessarily love the fit, especially for like curvy dolls. It had a tapered waist and the sleeves are a little bit tighter, and the tolerance around the shoulder seam was really tight, which is kind of difficult to sew. So what I did was I modified it. I gave it a neck lining. I made the fit a little more loose so that it could fit Curvy Barbie, because I don't know if you know me, but my favorite Barbie is Curvy Barbie. Sorry all the other ones, but Curvy's definitely my favorite. So a lot of my sewing projects focus on Curvy Barbie or Broadkins. So anyways though, I have Thor right here. He's being a little crazy because he's found a doll that he wants to play with, because he likes dolls probably as much as I do. So there you go. Anyways, so yeah, this shirt is made from the pattern that I shared a few weeks back. It's fun because I like to cut like pop culture prints out. So like this is a Captain America shirt that I made. I also made a matching Bucky Winter Soldier / White Wolf, whatever your preference, to go with this one. Another pattern that I shared a few probably months back is what I call my super simple t-shirt pattern. It is made just for Ken. Next up, a couple months back, if you've been following me, you probably saw that I shared what I call my super simple Ken t-shirt pattern. Basically it's 3 pieces plus a neck lining. I was lucky enough a couple weeks back to find a Fresh Dolls or a Fresh Squad Malik when I went to visit a friend. Luckily we stopped by her Walmart and they had them on the shelf. They're actually not on the lower shelf with all the other Fresh Dolls. They were up high, like overstocked. But I saw his red shoes and I was like, holy crap, we got to get these guys, because they've been kind of difficult to find as of late. I know that when they had the sale last month, I think it was last month, they had a sale, all the boys like went out of stock immediately, because I've been trying to get my hands on a Daniel. I'm pretty certain he's like one of the Fresh Doll store exclusives. But anyways though, I'm really happy with his body. His body's actually a better improvement over the Anthony doll that I had, whose hips were like really loose. His hips are loose but nowhere near, like he can actually hold like a pose, whereas the Anthony I have will not. So I'm happy to see that they've kind of refined or did some refinements or like internal reworkings of the hip joints. But overall, it's awesome to have a guy doll with real hair and decent articulation, especially one that is a person of color or non-white, because as we all know as doll collectors, they are super hard to find. So I was really excited to find him. As a whole, his outfit is really good quality. He actually has 4 separate pieces. He came with his pants, which he's wearing, a t-shirt, flannel like overshirt, and then a bomber jacket. So I was happy to get a bunch of guy clothes, and because the build of the Fresh Squad boys is a little bit more broad, they work well with the Broadkins, so that's kind of nice as well. Next up on the list of patterns that I've like created to share was this like pocketed skirt pattern. I actually ran across this because I saw it on Dolls Ahoy's Tumblr. She had reblogged a pattern from Simplicity or blogged about a pattern from Simplicity that was for like a midi, I think is the cut skirt with pockets. It didn't flare out this much because of the choice. They used a knit fabric, but I don't mind that it flares because I just think it's kind of fun and flouncy-ish. But if you know me, I actually shared this pattern last week on Tumblr. There's 3 different variations. There's one with wide pockets, there's one with slim pockets that are kind of like streamlined, and then there's one with no pockets. And they're meant to fit curvy Barbie, but obviously they will fit regular Barbie, it'll just be lower. But I really like this pattern. It uses up a fair amount of fabric. It's nice when there's like a piece of fabric that you want to kind of use up, because it uses up like not necessarily 1/2 of a fat quarter, but it's pretty close. And I have so many like little small pieces, because typically when I get fabric, if I don't buy fat quarters, like pre-cut fat quarters, I typically just get the person that's cutting to give me like a 1/4 yard, unless the print is like really particular. For example, like let's see, this is a perfect example where I went a little bit more than a 1/4 yard, just because I wanted to make sure that I had a couple full sets of the front of this, because it alternated between Jack and Sally. So this is a great way to use up like 1/2 of a fat quarter. I really like the way this ended up, and I feel like it sews together fairly quickly for me, just because I've experienced sewing it so many times just to create the pattern. But it's fun, it's like flouncy, it makes a really cute like witch outfit. I made this matching witch hat from the same fabric as the skirt from Dolls Ahoy's witch hat pattern, and I just love how the little ensemble looks together. It just looks like a fun springtime witch outfit, especially with like her little midriff bear. And this doll is actually one that I modified. She was just a standard curvy. I modified her body before they came out with the made to move pails. Her head is actually like one of the ballerina heads circa 2016, I think. But I put it on a curvy body, and her forearms are from the DC Superhero Girls, and so are her calves. I just basically I made a tutorial for this as well, also on my Tumblr. I cut her arms at the elbow and then dremelled out to fit the peg on the DC Superhero Girl Poison Ivy forearms. I actually swapped the hands with another one of my curvy made to moves, so she actually got the Poison Ivy hands, but this is just a curvy made to move hand. But yeah, and then I basically did the same thing to the knees, and it actually provides the joint isn't perfect and seamless, but it actually provides a fair amount of motion. The only thing I did was, because the inside of the thigh of the curvy is a little bit wider than the peg on the calf from the DC Superhero Girls, I wrapped it in painter's tape to give it a little tension so I could pop it into place. But yeah, that's a great way to get a curvy in a non-standard like made to move skin tone. Like I said, I made these prior to the made to move curvies coming out. And I'm just really happy with the results. I've done that to quite a few. This girl is kind of the same thing. She's got DC Superhero Girls Wonder Woman forearms, hands, and calves. I don't know. I love my dolls to be like articulated as much as possible within reason. So what I mainly did was I bought Fashionistas on clearance and DC Superhero Girls also on clearance or heavily discounted, and then I just combined them to make one body so that it wasn't an outrageous price to pay for an articulated body. Next up on patterns that I have created to share, I actually made a hoodie pattern for Ken. I just really wanted a cute little hoodie pattern that I could make for my boys. This actually started out as an action figure pattern that I made a couple years ago. I just really quickly drafted on the fly just for like a one-time use kind of thing. But I saved the pieces, and then when I was reorganizing my doll pattern book, I decided I'd go ahead and like refine it well enough to make it into an actual pattern to share. I think this is like the 4th or 5th one that I made from the pattern, and honestly I think it's really cute. And it is basically functional. I didn't make the hood super large, but because he doesn't have rooted hair, his hair is sculpted, it looks a little odd, but on a normal Ken, it would actually like go up and over his head correctly. And while I'm at it, this is actually a doll I made of myself. He is the Asian fashionista head. I can't remember his number, but I repainted his hair, added facial hair, I repainted his eyes, and I matched his skin tone. I pastel matched his skin tone to a Dumbledore body, because I'm a little heavy. Dumbledore body is the only like articulated broad we really have, like kind of. So I just kind of went for it. But overall, I really like him. I feel like he's a fun little dude to have. I can dress him up in all the Ken clothes that I have. Anyways, moving on. Some larger doll patterns that I've shared. I've shared a hoodie for Minifee sized. The pattern that I shared includes for sewing with and without a zipper, and the hood is actually big enough to go on her head. I also made a little like t-shirt dress pattern with two different skirt and sleeve lengths. Basically, it's just made out of knit fabric. It's kind of a loose fit, just kind of something fun, and I don't know. Again, this one is one that actually used up a lot of fabric as well. I just really love this print, and so far I've made a hoodie for Ken, a sweater for Barbie, and I think a tank top dress for Barbie as well. But I just really like this fabric, and I thought it'd be fun to make something for my Minifees with it. And then a pattern that I am currently working on to share is this sweater dress pattern. When I get it done, it should include two like dress lengths. This one is obviously so short that it would need like a undergarment or tights or something of that nature to go with it. But this was something that I made really quickly after I got my first ball jointed doll. I just wanted to make something that would be fast and easy to sew so that they'd have some clothes. I actually have gotten rid of the first doll that I got since then. But in the meantime, I've gotten quite a few more, and I've sewn and developed more patterns along the way. In case you're wondering, everyone always asks about the shoes. These are Glitter Girl shoes. I found them at Target in the toy section. The only Target that I've been able to find them in, they're actually across from the Mega Constructs. They're kind of in that aisle that's in between the Legos and then like the Shopkins and things like that. But out of all the Targets in my area, only one of them carries them. But I know that you can find them on Amazon. These actually light up. Not all the models of the shoes light up, but so far all of the shoes that I've purchased that are Glitter Girls brand fit Minifee feet, because for a long time I had difficulties finding shoes that would actually fit their feet and not look like super huge. But I've been really pleased with these so far. Next up, a pattern that I'm working on for Barbie is a little cardigan pattern. I am nearly done with it. I just have to, I think, refine the front just a little bit. But I actually made this cardigan with some fabric that Dolls Ahoy sent me. I just thought it would look cute with this little dress that I made from it was a free pattern from either JanelleWasHere.com or ShellyWoods.com. I just thought it was a cute little dress. It's like a little tank dress almost, that's got two big darts in the front. But I just thought it would look cute paired with like a little cardigan. And I've been wanting to make a cardigan pattern for a while because I feel like, at least with my dolls, I like to layer. So I really wanted a good pattern that would create a cute little wearable. It necessarily doesn't have to overlap and close, but it's just something that can be thrown on over like a cute little dress or something along that nature. So yeah, that one will be coming eventually. I'm still working on it. But I'm happy with how this one sewed together. I know that I sent Dolls Ahoy one of the prototypes that I was working on, because typically what I'll do is I'll work on a prototype, and if I'm not thrilled with it, I'll just kind of leave it to the wayside and then I'll come back to it. But I actually am really happy with how this is turning out. So this one will probably be a quick turnaround. I have to make like one more revision before I think I'm fully satisfied, but it shouldn't take too long. And then some things that I have made with patterns that aren't mine. As I've mentioned previously in this video, Dolls Ahoy. She is a great source for free patterns as well. And I just like to sew. So once I get into a mindset of liking to sew certain patterns, I typically sew a lot of them just because with repetition, I get faster at making things. A perfect example are her dolman sleeve sweater pattern, which I love this pattern. I think it is so cute. It is really easy to cut. It makes just such a cute little outfit. I don't know what else to say. I've made it like 10 times now. I've gotten pretty streamlined at making it, so typically I make them like 2 at a time. I just love this pattern. Super easy, super fun. And then another one of Dolls Ahoy's patterns that I've started using more recently is her raglan sleeve sweater pattern. I originally tried it probably 4 or 5 years ago now, and I tried to make it using a sock, and it just didn't go well, and nothing fit right, and I just got frustrated with it, and I kind of just put it away. But here recently, since making the dolman sleeve sweater pattern, making hoodie patterns for both Ken, I'm modifying one to fit Barbie, Minifee, just all the knits that I've been working with. I was like, I'm gonna try with some knit fabric. So I tried really hard, and I was able to create a couple of cute little sweaters, and now I can sew it like nobody's business. It goes together pretty quick, but honestly I just love how big of an area you have to work with for the front. So like for this one, I made a Jack Skellington one. I also made a Sally one to match. This guy is a Haruto head. I think he's Lee-Ka-chan's boyfriend, that Fire Spirited on Tumblr was able to kind of set me up with. She found a listing on eBay France and was able to hook me up with him. I love this little guy. He is so cute. It's so nice to have a Ken with rooted short hair for a change. The hair is so nice. I actually put him on the HP, the Harry Potter Ron body, and it's a really good fit. Moving on from there, Detective Pikachu comes out not next Friday, but the following Friday, and Burger King has gotten some of the toys. I really want the Bulbasaur, I've stopped in at like a couple of different ones so far, and the only two that I've been able to find that I want was Psyduck and Pikachu. I actually got Pikachu today. He's really adorable. He like has a little light up function, and then the Psyduck has a little shaky hand function. It's fun because these toys are actually really well sculpted to be a Burger King toy. And also they're really well textured. So like Psyduck actually has like a feeling of feathers, his little feet are sculpted. Pikachu has a feeling of fur. They're really cute, and they actually scale, I think, pretty well to like dolls. Hence why I really want a Bulbasaur. So hopefully my area gets Bulbasaur soon. I think that the first shipment was Psyduck and Loudred. I wasn't really interested in Loudred. And then the second shipment, I think, is Pikachu. So hopefully my region gets a Bulbasaur soon, because I love Bulbasaur and I have to get one. Next up, since I was talking a lot about patterns, I really wanted to go into about how I organize my patterns. In my first and only, at this point, doll talk video, I went over how I recently took coupon sheet organizer sheets and started placing my doll patterns in there, and I really like that idea, but I quickly found out that my patterns outsize that binder. So I've actually moved on to, I think this is a 2-inch or 3-inch binder. Anyways, and I've started storing my patterns in here, but in an attempt to be more organized, I actually have a little cutting mat, which I find it's easy and nice to have a cutting mat when you're pinning patterns, because then you don't have to worry about like gouging your surface underneath. This one is nice though, because it actually will fit in the pocket in the binder. It'll fit in the pocket, or it'll fit in like a sheet size sleeve, like a plastic sleeve. So yeah, so it makes a nice little way to put like a handy thing with all your patterns, but more importantly, the patterns themselves. So originally I showed this off, and I'm not sure if I had labels, but I found these circle labels at the Dollar Tree, and I just cut the circles in half so that way I can quickly just label what the patterns are. So like these first ones are like for trading card sheet size, but if you get the coupon book or the coupon organizing set, you actually get multiple different sizes. So you get some of these, you get some 6 sleeves, you get some 3 sleeves, which are super nice. And then for like larger patterns, I will put the instructions and the larger pattern pieces in like a full-size sheet. But honestly, this has been so helpful having my patterns all organized. I typically cut all my doll fabric during my lunch break at work. I just take my box of fabric, my pattern book, or a rotary cutter, a pair of scissors, and some pins, and I'm set. I try and get as many things cut out as possible because I find that I'm more likely to sew things if I have stuff pre-cut. Once I get home, I don't really want to cut because, I don't know, it just kind of saves hassle. It's kind of like super convenient to have everything like then and there ready to go. Another area that I wanted to talk about while I was thinking about it, and this is something that I mentioned on Tumblr a while back, but it slipped my mind to post a photo, is how I organize like my doll accessories. So this is a Sterilite container that I got from Target, but I also have found them at Costco, or it was either Costco or Sam's. I think it might have been Sam's. But anyways, I love this little thing because it opens up and there's removable compartments. And then, for example, with my shoes, I organize them by color. And then like for smaller accessories and stuff, I organize them by type. So like I have glasses, necklaces, like belts and larger shoes and these two, and then just like miscellaneous. So like I have like wands from the Harry Potter dolls, gauntlets from the Wonder Woman dolls, things like that. And then, so these come in a 2-pack, and for the other one, what I did was, these are all of my larger accessories. So I have like purses and like miscellaneous things that just won't fit anywhere else. I have food and like small like Shopkins and things like that. And then like my remint pieces are up top. But basically, I try and keep everything as organized as possible because, as we all know as collectors, it can get really out of hand really quickly. I'm currently thinking about going through the process of organizing all of the clothes that I have and have made, mainly because it gets really daunting because right now they're just all in a big box. And it's really daunting going through and trying to find things because I'm afraid that I'm going to lose stuff in the process. I'm probably going to figure out a way to better organize that so that I can utilize the parts of that part of my collection better. And then finally, the last thing that I wanted to share on this video is that last week I made a kind of big purchase, and I've actually decided to go like on a doll diet for the next couple months, mainly because I'm really happy with my collection, if not a little bit overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I've managed to amass. But there was one thing that I really wanted after seeing photos online and things, and I know it's kind of hard to find, but mainly because Target had a toy coupon last week that was like a pretty decent deal, more than likely because of Easter, I finally bit the bullet. And I got the Glitter Girls Sweet Shop. I am a sucker for like bakeries, kitchens, and things of that nature. So the Sweet Shop falls right up my alley. I haven't opened it yet because I was waiting for today. I wanted to take some time with it, open everything, sort everything, and make sure that I don't lose anything in the process. But so far, I'm really excited with this. Originally, it was meant to fit like the 14-inch Wellie Wishers dolls, but once I found out that it fits like Barbie scale dolls actually really well, I had to have it. I just was trying to wait to get it at the cheapest price possible. It's a really high quality set. Just the initial looking at everything, all the pieces are separate. It's got like a little cushion in the window. It's really heavy and well made. Surprisingly, the wallpaper is actually printed on. It's not a sticker. Like, I'm surprised by the quality, and I know that it seems a little steep, but it's MSRP of $100. But I mean, if you think about it in like the scale of remint and things like that, I don't actually think it's that bad because remints are like $8 to $12 a piece. And what you're getting here is like a really nice heavy duty playset along with a bunch of accessories to go with it. So overall, I'm really excited to break this down and get it open and start taking doll photos in it. But I think that is about it. Follow me on Tumblr if you have one and are interested. That's where I do most of my doll posting, there, and Instagram. But I primarily post to Tumblr more. Just because I feel like it's a little easier format to share things like patterns and things of that nature. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to reach out. I am not the best at checking my YouTube comments and messages, so it would probably be best if you reach out to me on Instagram or Tumblr. But I appreciate you watching. I hope it wasn't too boring. I know I just kind of like ran through a bunch of stuff, but honestly I just wanted to play a little bit of catch up since the last time I did a video. And I wanted to share some things that I've created to share with the doll community, while also commenting on some other occurrences and other people that have been helpful in the hobby as well. So that does it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.